Don Corleone, Vito Corleone, Santino Sonny Corleone. Fredo Corleone and Michael Corleone are characters in Mario Puzo's The Godfather and its sequels. Here is how they made their money. Vito Corleone. When Vito was 9 years old, he left Italy with his mother and 2 brothers to join his father in America. His father owned a small farm in a town called Corleone. Soon after arriving in New York, Vito met up with his dad. He also learned that there were 3 other men from Corleone living in the city who might be related to them. They were making money selling newspapers on the street corners, so Vito and his brother began doing the same. This is how he got started in the business. Later, Vito saved enough money to buy a small grocery store. But one day someone broke into the store and stole all of his merchandise. Enraged, he paid some local thugs to find out who did it. But they told him that the man responsible was a powerful businessman who would crush anyone who tried to go against him. Vito decided that the only way to defeat this man was to do what he did best: steal goods. He joined forces with a local crime boss, and together they devised a plan. They would steal expensive items from wealthy people and then sell them back to the owners for a hefty price. If the owner didn't pay, they threatened to destroy the item or even kill the owner if he resisted. This is how Vito became rich. Don Corleone, Vito's criminal empire grew over time, but he kept a low profile until he was forced to take over as boss of the family, when his predecessor was arrested on racketeering charges. Don Corleone had interests in gambling, drug trafficking, and union jobs, among other things. However, he preferred not to get his hands dirty. Instead, he delegated tasks to trusted members of his family and associates. One such associate was Tom Hagen, who served as the Corleone family lawyer. Hagen was a brilliant strategist and helped Don Corleone expand his business empire while keeping him out of prison. Another important ally was Moe Greene, a casino owner whom Don Corleone trusted to run his gambling operations. Together, they made millions. But Don Corleone wasn't just interested in making money. He also wanted respect and power. He made enemies of rival crime families and corrupt politicians, but he never backed down from a fight. In fact, he once declared war on the Barzini crime family after they tried to assassinate him. Don Corleone's violent streak didn't end there. He ordered the murder of several police officers who were investigating his activities, and he even killed his own son-in-law after he disobeyed orders. But despite all this, Don Corleone remained popular among the general public, because he was seen as a benevolent father figure. After being shot by a rival mobster, Don Corleone handed over the reins of his criminal empire to his eldest son, Sonny. But Sonny wasn't like his father. He was hot-headed and impulsive, which put him at odds with many of his father's allies. For example, Sonny had a volatile relationship with Moe Greene. He constantly berated Greene for losing money and threatened to replace him if he did and turn things around. But Greene didn't take this lying down. He insulted Sonny back, calling him a spoiled brat and warning him not to get involved in the family business. This caused a rift between Sonny and the rest of the Corleone family. It also led to the downfall of the Corleone crime family. After Sonny was assassinated, the family's remaining assets were seized by law enforcement, and most of its members were sent to prison. Fredo Corleone, Connie's youngest brother, wasn't as ambitious as his older brother, but he still wanted a piece of the action. So he started working as a bookkeeper for the family business. But he soon rose through the ranks and became one of the most trusted members of the organization. It's because Fredo was good at what he did. He was honest, loyal, and always willing to help out. Unfortunately, Fredo was also weak-willed and easily influenced by others. His brother Michael, for example, was able to manipulate Fredo into helping him take over the family business. Later, Michael even used Fredo as a pawn in his war against the Barzini crime family. He ordered Fredo to assassinate Moe Greene, but Fredo couldn't pull the trigger. This made him a liability to the organization, and Michael had him killed. Michael Corleone. Michael was the youngest of the 5 Corleone brothers. Like his brothers, he didn't want anything to do with the family business. In fact, he tried to stay out of it as much as possible. But Michael was forced to get involved after his father was shot by a rival mobster. With his father incapacitated, Michael had to step in and take charge. At first, he was hesitant. He didn't know if he was ready for such a big responsibility, but he quickly proved himself capable of handling the job. Michael was intelligent, ruthless, and charismatic. He used these qualities to expand his father's criminal empire, while keeping himself out of prison. He also formed important alliances with other crime families, which helped him consolidate his power. However, Michael wasn't content with just running a criminal organization. He wanted more. He wanted to be a legitimate businessman, so he began investing in casinos, hotels, and other businesses. This allowed him to launder money and gain respectability among the general public. But Michael's greed ultimately led to his downfall. He became obsessed with power and wealth, and he was willing to do whatever it took to get more. This included betraying his family and friends. In the end, Michael was killed by a member of his own family. Now let's take a look at some of the ways they laundered money. Laundering money is an essential part of any criminal's life. It's how they turn dirty money into clean money, so they can spend it without attracting unwanted attention from law enforcement. There are many ways to launder money, but some of the most common methods include 1. Buying expensive items with cash and then selling them back to the criminal for half the price. For example, if a criminal has $1 million in cash, they may buy a luxury car for $100,000 with it. 2. Starting a business with cash and then claiming that it was started with money earned through legitimate means. This can be difficult to pull off, though, as businesses require a lot of money to get started, and criminals often do and have that kind of money. 3. Investing in real estate with cash and then claiming that it was bought with money earned through legitimate means. Like starting a business, investing in real estate can be hard to pull off as properties are typically expensive. For donating money to charity and then claiming the deduction on their taxes, this is a risky move, though, as charities often have strict rules about who can donate money and how much they can donate. 5. Gambling and winning big. If a criminal knows how to gamble, they may use their ill-gotten gains to win big at the casino. They can then claim that they won the money fair and square and use it for legitimate purposes. 6. Embezzling money from their employer. This is a popular method of laundering money among white-collar criminals, as it's relatively easy to hide embezzled money. 7. Stealing money from customers or clients. This is another popular method of laundering money, as criminals often have no problem stealing from those they don't know. 8. Selling drugs or other illegal substances. This is a great way for criminals to make quick money, as there is always a demand for illegal substances. They can then use this money to support their lavish lifestyles. So those are the ways that criminals launder money. If you enjoyed this video, check out our other videos on the most powerful crime families in the world.